Please, what can you say about the judgment of today that has been delivered in favor of your victim and your organization?
Good morning, all. My name is Priscilla Usiobaifo, the Executive Director, Brave Heart Initiative for Youth and Women. PHI is a youth-led feminist non-governmental organization promoting young people's rights and advancing women's rights in Nigeria. We are one of the foremost leading organizations facilitating access to justice for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence in Edo State, Nigeria. The office is situated at Igara, Akoko Edo local government area of Edo State. And today we had judgment and conviction in one of our cases that we began on the 4th of January 2020. Actually, this was our first COVID case, and it was very troubling for us and very stressful. As a matter of fact, I want to start with commendation for the BHI team, especially the case workers that handled this case, because they endangered their lives. They didn't care about the health risk associated, all the fears and anxiety around COVID. They went out all their way to ensure that the survivor accessed medical services, legal services. And there was a lot of delay in this process because the court had to be shut down at some point. And we did not get the suspect to arrest. This incident happened in January. All of them were at wall. For months, the police and the vigilante were on the lookout of the suspect. Four of them, Momodu Fatai, Dele Eric, Ghana Man, Young John, they couldn't find any of them. It was in July, about 7 months later, that eventually they caught two of them, which is Momodu Fatai and Dele Eric. And Dele Eric escaped again. Momodu Fatai also jumped bail. He had what did they call it? A shorty for him in court. The shorty appeared in court on his behalf and he fell ill and died. By the time they eventually even got Momodu Fatai, he was not in a very stable, he couldn't even stand trial. He was mentally unstable, and we had to continue the prosecution with Dele Eric, and which culminated to the end of the process today. I want to acknowledge the support from Osiwa, the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, currently known as Open Society Foundation, with whose support we started this case. I also want to acknowledge the Makato Foundation, who provided grants for us to continue this case. There are a lot of funders that will not want to put money where another donor has put money. But we approached Makato and said, we started this fund from Osiwa grant. The money has elapsed, and we would like to continue some of our cases. And in their magnanimous act, Makato Foundation allowed us to use their fund to complete those cases that we started. Because at the end of the day, all they wanted is access to justice by survivors of sexual violence, especially those in rural communities that are often marginalized, where you have poor households, where survivors, if you leave them, cost of litigation is a major barrier to access of justice. And today, the process have ended. It's over 3 years, from January 2020 to November 24, 2023. So it's been a long struggle, and it has ended today. He was convicted for 6 counts, about 5 counts. He was convicted for 5 counts out of the six counts that the charge sheet um, had against him. And out of that, he had about the sentencing were 7 years, 7 years. Okay, 4 counts, 7, 7, 14, and 3 years. But he's to run all of them concurrently. We welcome these judgments in an era where in Nigeria, if you hear go to court, we know the meaning of that. It means that the perpetrator is telling you nothing will happen. As a matter of fact, the statement go to court these days is like loss of hope in the judiciary. So by the time we still get to court and still get justice for survival, it means that our hope has been reignited in the judicial sector. And we believe that this will serve as a message to other perpetrators of sexual violence, not just in Edo State, but in Nigeria, and serve as a deterrent to sexual offenders. We also believe that this justice will serve as hope to other survivors who may be in the same situation and are looking up to government and the judiciary for justice. I want to thank every person that joined us in court today for the court judgments. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.